I mean, believe it or not, honestly, trying to come up with like stuff to talk about like every week on YouTube is probably one of the like most difficult things I probably had to like do so far. Like trying to come out with content every week, trying to find something to talk about all the time can be like mad difficult sometimes, because it's like, what more can I talk about? But you got to find a way to, keep going, I guess. You feel me? What's good, everybody? It's Gahel. Welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're just going to talk about how I myself shoot and prepare to make videos and post on YouTube. I'm just going to give you a little behind the scenes type of stuff to show you like what my thought process and how I set everything up to make things try to be aesthetically pleasing. It all starts right here. It all starts with this backpack. This backpack is my life. I carry it around everywhere. It has every essential thing that I need whenever I'm on the go or wherever I need to stay somewhere that's a little too long. So it all starts right here. All right, so we got my notebook right here to write any ideas. And then we got my computer right here with me. And then we also got, what we got here? Got my iPad, right? So these are all the stuff that I keep with me right now whenever I come up with ideas or any interesting stuff to write about or talk about, or any just thoughts that come into my mind. I just write them down in my journal, or I just jot down notes within my laptop right over here. So I do want to say that like not everything that I write about in like my journal, my notebook, my laptop or iPad ever comes to fruition. Like you have a lot of ideas. Sometimes it's a lot of work than you actually believed, and sometimes you have to scrap it, or sometimes the idea just doesn't make sense after you think about it for a while, or sometimes you just change your mind. But a lot of thought does go through everything I write in there sometimes, not all the time, but that's just how it goes whenever, a lot of projects are thought about, you know what I mean? It comes down to everything you do. You always got to like write it down before you ever have to take, any executive action towards it. And that goes true with all like business plans and like companies and stuff. Everybody pitches an idea, writes down an idea, presents it, and if it falls through, it falls through. So that's what happens, man. I just sit down, I write in this notebook. It could be, just stupid stuff sometimes. It could be anything. Like if I see a flower, I'm just like, oh, what if I write, or what if I make a video about a flower or computers or stuff like that? And then we just go on from there and see if it makes sense. Sometimes I have like ideas in my head that I run through other people to see if it makes sense. And then, sometimes I take their input and then I just make the final decision and see if it's good enough to write about or talk about or whatever, Next is trying to find the location, spot, or area that you want to film at. You want to find a place that's, decent, not too distracting, pleasing, appealing to look at. But honestly, there's no rule for you to say that. You can film anywhere you want to film as long as what you're talking about, filming about is interesting. For me, I try to find a place that's, very like minimal. If you see a lot of the videos that I have made before, they're pretty like appealing looking places, and that's my goal. I want to film in a place where it's appealing and not too distracting. And because obviously I want to be the focus of the video. So that's just my thought process whenever I'm going about trying to find a place to film a video. I can't really say where I'm filming at, that's for me to know and for no one to find out. But yeah, this is just a cool place that I've been filming at for the past couple weeks because it is kind of hot where I'm at, and some places that I do film at is way too hot. There's no AC and I'm not trying to sweat all throughout the video, but that's all it is. And also you want to find a place where there's good lighting. There's not a lot of light here, so I try to film at a time where the light is, beautiful, it's hitting you, your skin looks good, and you're shining. And that's why I film at the times that I film. And I guess that's like a quick rundown of like why I film where I film, or how to film where you want to film. Just make sure it's not distracting. That's my thing. And make sure it's pleasing. Not everything has to be symmetrical. It's not like you're watching a movie theater film or anything like that. Just make it decent, make it cool to look at. You want to keep people interested and engaged. After you wrote down all the ideas for your video on your journal, laptop, or iPad, or anything that you have a final draft, and then you find a location for your video. Now is to look for your gear that you need, the gear that you need, the audio that you need, the lighting that you need to film your video, and then you go on from there. All right, so this is it. This is the camera that I use to film. It's a Sony a7S III. And then I have a Canon mount on my camera with a whole bunch of filters on there just to make, all the stuff that I'm filming look cool, right? And then after that, I have a monitor right over here, plugged in on everything. And this is how it looks right over here. I'm just doing this all to just show you guys how I film everything. And this is the location. This is where I film. It's not that big of an area, but it's what I got for now. Just plug in everything. I can see myself right over here, but also the monitor is big enough for me to see what's going on. So like, here's my hand right over there, and this is it. I have a variable ND filter over here. I have a circular polarizer, and then step-up rings for this 50 1.4. Right? So I use the 50 1.4 because it has a lot of shallow depth of field once you drop it down to the 1.4, and I'm a big fan of that. But obviously you want to use that when it's best to use it. You don't want to use it all the time because it's kind of like excessive. Only on certain times, like when I film in the previous location that I was at, which I'll go back there again. There's a lot of stuff in the background. I try to blur that out, so I bring down the aperture to 1.4 so you can just ignore all that stuff. I try to do it to the best of my ability, but that's it. This is it right over here, right there. Now for audio, I don't have like the biggest audio equipment, and that's okay, but I just can't be carrying around all that stuff with me wherever I go. I don't really have a lot of help. I do this stuff by myself, so I try to like make best with what I got. But for audio, in the past few videos, you can obviously see me holding something in my hand, and that is just my iPhone 12 Pro. This is all I do to film audio on, and I'm just using the audio voice memo thing. And honestly, it has a really good audio in there after like you edit it and like you fix stuff up on Premiere Pro, and you just go on from there, and then you just match everything up, and then you're good. Honestly, the iPhone 12 Pro hasn't failed me yet, and I really like the sound that comes out of there. And I don't think I'm going to change it anytime soon, honestly. I guess I should say that whenever I'm at other locations, I usually set up a Saramonic lavalier mic as a boom mic sometimes, and use that as audio whenever I'm at my other location. Like in the other location, I just set that up above me, and then I use that. Or I use this Movo mic right here. I use the Deadcat on here, to fix up the audio within the lavalier mic too. It's a small little Deadcat, but this is what I use, these two right over here. All right, so I forgot to mention how I edit the videos for YouTube. What I use to edit the videos, I use Adobe Premiere, and sometimes I use DaVinci Resolve. I'm still learning how to use DaVinci Resolve, but I've edited about like a video or two on there, but it's primarily Adobe Premiere. That's how I edit videos for YouTube, and I just want to let you guys know that. All right, peace. And with all that being said, that's just like a quick little setup on how I film my YouTube videos. I didn't go into super big detail on that, but that's just how I film it. And I hope that's just something that can help you guys film better YouTube content. My content is still like subpar compared to all the big guys out there like MKBHD. Like that dude's content is really great. Peter McKinnon, all those famous YouTube guys, I'm still at the bottom, I feel like, but I guess over time I'll be able to make greater content like that, like those guys with a lot of practice, and with a lot of money comes my way. I guess I'll be able to do stuff like that. But other than that, that's just how you make YouTube. That's how I make YouTube for now. And hopefully you guys learned something out of that. And I hope to see you guys make YouTube content too. It doesn't have to be YouTube content. Like if you want to make videos for your own self, and you feel like sharing it on Instagram or anything like that, feel free to take everything I taught you and apply it to your own stuff. All right, that's all I got to say. And I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.